Hello guys, I'm back on the good video, and like the other time, I'm sorry because my video cut off right whenever I was doing a what if. Sorry for that. Okay. What was happening was whenever he was breathing the fire, whenever he sucked it in, because he was burnt, and then Deku runs and says boast, and then since it's been a couple minutes because he got what's I gonna say? It was a couple of seconds because it was like another minute because of I'm gonna say, oh yeah, it took a couple minutes because Deku had to catch his breath. He's like, because whenever he's breathing the fire, he's not breathing. So whenever he holds the fire for quite a bit of time, when he has to suck it back in, he has to like take a break for like a few seconds. All right. So yeah, he's doing okay. And then he's like, and then the boost drops in again. So like I said, he's now he's 4 times as strong. And he's like, okay, it's time for me to go. And then he's like, okay, he uses one for all. And then you know like the karate move where he like chops him in the back of the neck. That's what happens here. He chops him in the back of the neck. All right. And now, he's knocked out. And then Todoroki comes and he's like, Deku, you send me your location? And he's like, this time, send me the exact location. I almost didn't make it in time. And he's like, what? Is that Stain? And, the whole time, whenever Deku was doing that, remember, there was another hero right there watching because he was paralyzed too. But not Todoroki. That's whenever Ito was like, "This has nothing to do with you," and he's like, "Yeah, I'm your friend," and this and that. The whole time he was fighting, so he's being like bugged the whole time. And he's like, "What? Is that Stain?" Yeah, I had to knock him out. He's like, "Yeah, I had to knock him out." And he gets knocked out. And he's like, "Yeah, I did that cool thing." You know, like how some people do with like karate chop him back in the neck. That's exactly what I just did. And he's knocked out. And he's like, "Is that you, Tanya? Are you okay, Ija?" And he's like, "Yeah, it had nothing to do with you guys." And he's like, "Yeah, I'm your friend," and this and that and that. And then they hand him off to the police. Endeavor already like did all the damage to already took down the other Nomus. And at this time, oh, not just Endeavor. He also had help from the old man and other heroes. Sorry guys, that's something on my phone. Yeah, he had help from like other heroes and stuff like that. But it was mostly him and the old man who did it. And he was doing good, great. And then he hands him off to the police, and he's like, "Do you have any of those quirk canceling thing?" Because he has a quirk that if he slices you, and whenever he licks your blood, he he makes you paralyzed. And he's like, yeah, and he's like, that's a quirk. That's his quirk. Alrighty then. Here's any well, good thing we have that. Good thing we have. We always have one pair of quirk canceling handcuffs. So he cancels his quirk and then gets him in the car whenever he's knocked out. And he's like, just in case, make sure to grab some heroes whenever you're bringing them, because you can just break out of the car with ease. And he's like, alright. no matter if he doesn't have a quirk. He's like, okay, and then they get some heroes, and they follow him back to the police station, and then they give him off to the most popular things for the villains, where they keep all the worst villains there. So yeah, that's where they put him. And now, and since there was no viral video to show that, hold on. Yeah, alright, since there's no viral video of Stain, there's not as many villains that joined him. So let's say that only like 30 people joined him. I think in like the original, 60 people joined him, so they cut the thing in half. Because no Stain video that that made people go up in crime and stuff like that from Stain. So Stain goes away, nothing really bad happens for a while. No one's really injured, nothing bad. They all get rushed. They all are at the police station, and the chief of police is like, yeah, this and that, and you don't have your hero license, so you can't go around fighting villains. The two people who are there, Tenya Ida and Tenya Ida's person and Deku's person that he was doing it with, both got mad at him and stuff. He was like, "You can't just keep on doing that. I told you to stay in the car. I told you to stay in the train and stuff." He's like, "Yeah, but Stan would have killed would have killed him." And he's like, "Not if he stayed with this person. Or not if he stayed with the person he's doing it with." And then Tenya said sorry. And just like in the original, they got off easy, and they don't take any of the credit except for Endeavor. Except Deku blowing the fire at the Nomus and killed 40 of them. The Stain thing is still Endeavor's though. Alright, so that's what happens for a couple minutes, and then the big leap happens. Hold on. Okay, after they kill, after there are Stain and stuff, there's not as much villains, and they end the training with Gran Torino. Oh yeah, I forgot to tell you guys. They all chose their hero names. I forgot to tell you about that. But no one's name changed except for Deku's, who is Ryu. That's the only one name who changed, so I didn't think it was like a big deal. So yeah, that's the only name that changed. All right. So after the training, they go back to UA, and they do the testing thing. See what they learned from the quirks. And it is the first one to rescue All Might wins. Alright. And then they start. And then first, nothing really happens different. Nothing happens differently. Except for Deku's. Since he got a ton, he got a lot faster because he was learning with Gran Torino faster stuff and training, so he had to keep up. So he trained himself, and it'll go like faster and faster. So now I say he's only like 20% slower than Gran Torino, which is still pretty dang fast. So he goes, and he's gliding through the things with ease, just going. And then he makes it to All Might in 7 seconds and 4 milliseconds, which is pretty fast, because there was like a big area and you found all mine and got them. Alright, and then how things like happens differently. He tells them about the story about how All for One and One for All came to be. Just like in the original, tells them about the story. He's like, so there was a brother who could steal quirks, and he stole some quirks, and then he gave it to his known quirkless brother, but little did he know that he had a quirk. It was to give quirks to someone else, which was not useful on its own, but he had that quirk, and then his brother became evil, and then he wanted to be a thing for peace and harmony, so he kept bringing it down to try to defeat All for One, his brother. So they train, and then so it all gets passed down all the way to young Deku. And just gonna, he doesn't tell him that he thinks he's going to die whenever he's not gonna be there to see Deku fight One for All, because he doesn't think he's gonna be alive. Because remember, he's already running out of things and stuff like that. But since he's healed from the injury, he does have a longer chance of living with the thing. So he doesn't know if he'll be there with his quirk, because yes, he doesn't have like the thing, and he's not coughing up blood anymore or anything like that. But he did give it away. So now he can only do hero work 3 hours. Remember, that's how he was in the original, before he fought the slug monster that reduced it to 2. So he's about the same strength as whenever he changed the weather, but just tiny bit stronger because his wound is healed. Alright. Now we're going to go on to the next. Alright, guys. So now we're getting into the final exams where they're about to get their hero licenses. Nothing different happens on like the bus. Alright, they get there and it's like, there's all this talk that your school is attacked by villains, and then you have a super strong hero that defeated tons of villains. And no, you have a person that's really strong. Well, guess what? There's going to be a new class on top this year. Yeah, so they all start doing their thing, and nothing bad happens. Stuff goes about the same. And instead of this time, they don't get split up because Deku is able to, what am I? No, they do get split up. Let's just say because he was off guard. He gets split up. He finds Zero Gravity Girl and Tape Arms. Yes. Alright, so now he goes and he sees the people who were trying to get him. So for this one, he just does this flick with 5% and he blows them away. That's basically all he does until he finds the girl who's pretending to be the Zero Gravity Girl. And then the Tape Arms comes up and he's like, "Whoa, what are you doing?" And he's like, "Listen to the phone," and then flicks. And then she tries to ask her questions and stuff. Nothing really different happens in this part. yeah, he just keeps on like blowing through him with his flicks. Just goes pew, 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 and just like annihilates people and stuff. The guy still makes Bakugo like that little like mush stuff on like the bridge. He still made him that mush stuff was gross and stuff. And they started fighting in the tournament. Nothing really happened. So they kept on fighting and fighting and fighting and fighting and fighting. And then all of class 1A was still there, and the other school, class 1B, the people who were still in the original are still here. Alright, this is that. Alright, so now they're on the rescue thing, and since they never rescue people, they're like, okay, they're okay at it. But Deku had experience from saving people, because as soon as he gave things to police, the buildings were like crushed over from the I'm sorry, hold on. From the Nomus, right? They took him down from the Nomus, and there was like buildings started falling. So he started saving people and stuff like that. So he has some pretty good experience, unlike the other people, because they were only been taught with some actors and stuff like that. But no, he's actually been on some full-blown stuff and seen some real heroes like save people and do stuff like that. So he just was like, oh, so that's how you save people, and then write it down in his notebook. And then he saved a few people, maybe like 20, only 20, and the rest saved, and the other heroes saved the rest of them. But he wrote it down in his notebook, and then he kept on studying on how to save and save people, because he saw all the heroes in front of him do it. So he just started writing it down in his little notebook and started studying. So he's actually pretty good at it. So he told the zero gravity girl, I still don't know her name, I'm super sorry, to like, there's like that child over there. He's like, alright, look at that rubble. He's like, are you okay? He's like, do you have any minor injuries? And then he looks at his legs and checks through his head, and he's like, okay, he's good. I'll rush him to the infirmary right now and take some. He's like, it's okay. You'll be alright. You don't have severe injuries. You just have some slight injuries, which will be patched up in a jiffy. And he's like, wow, this kid really knows his stuff. And then they just keep on saving people and stuff like that. They keep on following Deku's lead, because he's apparently really good at this. And then they see the blue whale guy. Killer Whale, I think that's what his name was. I don't remember his name. Just the Killer Whale guy. Alright. See if they can save people and while being attacked by a villain. And they all start fighting. And he's like, alright, so they're testing us to see if we can save and do it. So they see Deku start running, so they're like, alright, well, he's heard that he's a UA student, and he's one of the strongest. That's what I heard. And he won the sports festival, so he must be pretty strong. So you'll at least take Killer Whale. You will be at least able to take 2 of our punches to the back of the head. And he goes, and they go, this won't kill him, but it'll knock him out. And he hits him in the back. He tries to hit him in the back of the head, and then Deku dodges, and then punches both of them. And then remember, this Deku is super duper strong. He trained with Gran Torino and stuff. He upgraded his quirk, and he upgraded his physical abilities. So he punched him with normal strength, took his own body, and then knocks them both out. He's like, wow, he's like, he didn't even use any of his quirks. He knocked out 2 of the people. And while using the other hand to hold the child. He's like, this kid's really good. Really good. Alright, well, so let's see if he can handle me. And he's like, you. And he's like, looks at Deku, he's like, You have to fight me or else I will kill everyone here. And then he's like, okay, let's go. He's like, I know he's a pro, but I know he's at UAA too, but I don't want to use too much power because last time I used too much power, I almost killed someone. So I'll only use 35%. And he goes, opens up his mouth, and he starts burning him, and he's like, ah, ow, ow, ow. And he's like, uh-oh, I'm hurting him too much, and he goes, and breathes back in all the fire. And he has like, and Philip has some burns, and he's like, this kid has some really hot flames. And he's like, alright, fight me. And he's like, okay, boost. And he was like super confused and why he said boost. But he's multiplying this thing times 2. So, and then he goes, oh, sorry. And then he goes and use 2% of one for all. He doesn't punch. No, he uses only 2%. Yeah, he only uses 2%. And then he punches Killer Whale in the. No, he uses 4%. And then punches Killer Whale in the stomach. And that makes him grab his thing. And then Deku kicks Killer Whale in the head, which knocks him down to the floor. And then he sees some like iron. So he bends it into like cuff things around his arms. But that made him have to use 13% of it, and then twists it into like some bars, so he's captured. And just in case, he did it around his legs too. And he's like, well, he's assessed the situation and stopped he stopped the main person and got him in handcuffs. And he got him in technically handcuffs with the steel that he bent it in. And then he goes and shows him in the rubble. And then he burns the rubble. And before it's able to, and he's like the ice guy, what's his name again? I'm sorry guys, I keep forgetting their names. Hold on. He's like, Todoroki, get your ice croak ready. And he's like, okay. And he burns the flame. He burns the thing until it melts. And he goes. This time he didn't like put on some explosions in it. Sometimes he can use explosions in it like when he really the flames. But whenever he just wants to like normal flames, he goes. It just like spreads it out. And then he's like. He melts it all down and then puts the other whale's legs in it, and then he says, Todoroki, freeze! And let's go. And then he got his legs stuck in the ice. And he's like, okay. And I'll make like. And now he says, alright. And I'll put some ice walls to make it like a square. So just in case he breaks out of those iron cuffs, he will. And out of that ice, you'll still be stuck in there. And he's like, okay. It makes an ice, like a cell thing, and then it helps the rest of the civilians. While there's still some of the killer wild people, is like Deku goes and uses 50% of one for all. And oh yeah, and he turned off his boost already. So he used 50% of one for all. And then he punched the air as hard as he could, and it made my wind wave just blow him away. All the bad people away because he knew where the civilians were. He assessed the situation. And then as soon as they were all blown away, he saved the rest of the people, excess, and made sure they didn't have no like severe injuries or stuff. And then they were good. They'll actually pretty good. Bakugo, in this one, since he was grown up with a person like super strong, he he lowered his walls a little bit, so he's like he access the he access them, and he's like he follows this thing and tells the person right next to him. He says, pick them both up. We need to go." And he's like, "You're not gonna access them? I already accessed them. They have very low injuries, minor injuries. They had some scratches on their legs, but you need to take them back. I'll look for more people." And he's like, "Okay," and he takes the two elderly people and leaves. I don't remember who he's with. I think it might be Kamari, the person who's like the lightning things, where he has like lightning quirk. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, so he has that. He takes them away and stuff like that. And they find everyone and they're good. So this time, everyone in class 1A of UA got their hero license. Everyone got their hero license. So they're all good. So they're all good. And now they go back to the school. No, they go back to the, yeah, I think they just get to school. Hold on. Oh, hold on. Okay, it's just like in the original. They go back to the thing, with, as they go back to school, they go back to UA, and then they say, bring another field trip, and they go to the forest of death. I think, no, it's just the forest place where the cats are. This time, they know they're kind of after All Might. Yeah, they're after All Might, so they say, let's send them off over there. Eraserhead, you go with them. And then, All Might's like, Eraserhead, you go with them. And, he's like, okay. And he's like, wait, just sending Eraserhead? Isn't that a bold move? Yeah, but now they have at least their licenses. Now they can, fight-ish. And you saw what Deku, knew. Midoriya did, or Ryu, what Ryu Midoriya did. He took out Killer Whale by himself, and he's technically stronger than a lot of heroes by himself. And he also took down that Nomu. And he's like, that was supposed to be a strong thing. That's supposed to be a strong opponent. And he took down 40 of them. Well, it took, I don't remember his name now. When it took Gran Torino and Endeavor a lot of tries, it took him a while to defeat 12. Well, he defeated 40 of them with this fire. And they all look at each other and they're like, alright, Eraserhead. If anything happens, let's evacuate them, and then you're ordered to take Ryu Midoriya with you to fight. Only Ryu. He's like, sir, is that okay? Since he's, I know he got his hero license, but he's still just a kid. And he's like, yes, he's stronger than most heroes. He's stronger than Endeavor and that person who was only here for a year, but we knew he was super strong. And just like, okay. And they go off. Alright, guys, this is where I'm gonna end this episode. This is where I'm gonna end this video here. I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye bye.